Thank you. In the last 30 minutes, the FAA announced a corrupted FAA caused a system failure, leading to the largest grounding of flights in the U.S. since 9/11.
You feel like we've been talking about this for weeks, and NBC News reports it could take until tomorrow for airlines and airports to catch up. A number of delayed flights are scheduled to leave KCI around the 6 o'clock hour, some of which were delayed for at least 2 hours.
Overnight, the FAA's notice to air missions on NOTAM is what it's called. That system failed. It's the pre-flight safety notices that pilots rely on. It forces officials to pause all domestic departures from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., delaying about 8,500 flights across the country and resulting in more than 1,200 cancellations.
This is the second large-scale disruption in less than a month to air travel, and it comes as the Southwest airline debacle is still being resolved.
We're holding airlines accountable to their responsibilities. When there's an issue on the government side of the house, when there's an issue in FAA, we're going to own it.
So tonight we're going in depth on this story.
All to better understand what happened, why it happened, and what's being done to prevent further disruption.
But first, it's important to understand why the NOTAM system that failed is important to ensure safety up in the sky.
Our very own Bryant Madrick live at KCI. He talked with the former pilot as well as a family caught in all this disruption. Bryant?
What a mess indeed. Right now, I will tell you, looking at the departure and arrivals board, things appear normal. But this morning, it was a different story with delays that stretch well into the afternoon. The Bell family is ready to get away.
We're trying to catch a cruise down in Miami, Disney cruise. So if we don't get there by 12:30, between 12:30 and 3 o'clock tomorrow, we can't go.
Their flight should have been wheels up by 2 this afternoon. Instead, their feet are up in the airport lobby with a delay that just drags on.
Right now, it's about 3 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah, and it just kind of keeps pushing back.
The Bells are just one of many travelers impacted by an issue that left people checking their phones for flight updates this morning. The FAA blames a computer system called Notice to Air Mission Systems, or NOTAM.
It's what could be considered mundane information, but it really isn't. It's data on the infrastructure in which you're flying.
Retired airline pilot Dick Iser says the system is important for safety.
Let's just say you're going from point A to point B, and your destination point B, there is perhaps an airport maintenance vehicle that has a flat tire on the runway and closes the runway. We'd like to know that.
Back inside the airport, the Bells just want to know when their flight to see Mickey and Minnie will take off.
The lady I talked to is pretty confident, even if we left at 1 a.m., that the flight was gonna leave, that it wouldn't get canceled. So I'm hoping she's right.
Well, there may be some good news. I was checking the departures for Miami. A flight left at 5 o'clock. So hopefully they're on that flight, because the alternative would have been to drive to Miami. That's a 21-hour trip. Putting live at KCI, I'm Bryant Madrick, KSHB 41 News.
Thank you, Bryant. Definitely hoping they made that flight. Tonight, the FAA continues their investigation into the damaged database, but they believe it's not linked to a cyber attack.
There is no direct indication of any kind of external or nefarious activity, but we are not yet prepared to rule that out.
These failures are rare, Buttigieg says. The Department of Transportation is launching an investigation into the system's possible vulnerabilities. It's
a sentiment being echoed by Missouri Congressman Sam Graves, who is the new chairman of the Committee on Transportation of Infrastructure. Today, he released a statement saying he expects the FAA to provide a full briefing to members of Congress as soon as they learn more, and expects a prompt update on the Department of Transportation's efforts to do right by the passengers it wronged.